Imagine waking up every morning, not knowing if today will be the day your business closes its doors for good. This isn't a hypothetical scenario. It's the harsh reality for thousands of small business owners across the UK as they face collapse amid ongoing budget uncertainty. Keir Starmer and his Labour government are at the helm, making crucial decisions that will shape the future of these businesses. But the question is, will those decisions come too late for the thousands of struggling businesses and their employees? Right now, across the UK, businesses that have stood for decades are on the brink of collapse. We're not just talking about large corporations. These are small, family-run businesses that serve their local communities. Shops, cafes, manufacturers, businesses that are the backbone of our economy. These businesses are watching and waiting for clarity from Keir Starmer's government. The upcoming budget could be a turning point, but the lack of certainty is leaving owners in a state of limbo, unsure of whether they'll make it to the end of the year. Before we dive deeper into the stories of struggling business owners and the role of Keir Starmer, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the latest news impacting you and your community. In this video, we're going to explore three critical aspects of this issue: how the uncertainty around the budget is pushing businesses to the edge, the emotional toll it's taking on everyday people, and the real-life stories of those fighting to keep their businesses alive. These are people who need decisive action, not just political promises. Businesses across the UK are being forced to make impossible decisions, whether to cut jobs, close down temporarily, or reduce services. According to shocking new research, a record number of small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, are on the edge of collapse, and much of this stems from the uncertainty surrounding the upcoming budget. Keir Starmer's government came into power with promises to support small businesses and rebuild the economy after the devastation of COVID-19 and Brexit. But where is that support now? Businesses like Alex's are hanging by a thread, waiting for a lifeline from a government that seems focused elsewhere. Let's meet Alex, the owner of a family-run cafe in Manchester. Alex's cafe has been a fixture in his local community for over 15 years, a place where regulars come for a coffee and a chat, and where families gather on weekends. But now Alex is watching his life's work crumble. "I've built this cafe with my dad. We started with nothing, just a small space and a few tables. Over the years, we've grown. We've become part of this community. But now I wake up every morning not knowing if we'll still be here next month." The rising costs of energy, the ongoing supply chain disruptions, and the lack of clarity from the government have all combined to make every day feel like a gamble. Alex isn't alone. Thousands of business owners across the country are facing the same uncertainty. They've put everything they have into their businesses, but they're left waiting for answers from Keir Starmer's government, answers that seem further away with every passing day. We've been waiting for months for some kind of clarity from the budget, but every day that passes without a decision is another day we lose hope. My employees ask me what's going to happen, and I don't know what to tell them. It's not just about the business anymore. It's my family's future, my employees' livelihoods, and the community we've built over 15 years. Like Alex, so many small business owners are feeling left behind by a government that promised to be on their side. Keir Starmer's Labour government pledged support for SMEs, but the silence on how these businesses will be helped in the upcoming budget is deafening. But it's not just the financial implications that are taking a toll. There's an emotional burden that's weighing heavily on business owners, their families, and their employees. Behind every small business is a person, and behind every person is a story of struggle, anxiety, and fear for the future. The uncertainty surrounding the budget is pushing people to their breaking point. Anxiety levels are through the roof, and many are struggling with stress, sleepless nights, and the constant fear of losing everything they've worked for. Mental health experts are already warning that this uncertainty is fueling a silent crisis. Business owners and employees are seeing spikes in stress, anxiety, and depression. When you don't know how you'll pay your bills, how can you think about anything else? The emotional well-being of so many people is tied to the future of their businesses, and right now, that future is in the hands of Keir Starmer and his government. Meet Sarah, a mother of two who runs a small boutique clothing store in Bristol. For Sarah, the business isn't just a job. It's her identity, her pride, and the way she supports her family. But as uncertainty around the budget continues, Sarah is struggling to keep her head above water. Every day I wake up with this pit in my stomach. I'm constantly worrying, will we make enough sales this week to cover rent? How am I going to pay my staff? I'm trying to stay strong for my kids, but inside, I'm breaking. Sarah's story is one of many. The fear of losing a business isn't just about finances, it's about everything that comes with it. Sarah isn't just worried about her bottom line, she's worried about how she's going to support her children, how she'll keep her family secure, and the uncertainty is driving her anxiety to levels she's never experienced before. I can't sleep. Every night I'm up, thinking about the shop, thinking about what will happen if we have to close. My kids don't understand why I'm stressed all the time, and I try not to show it, but it's hard. It's hard to pretend everything's okay when you don't know what's coming next. Sarah's story is heartbreaking, but it's not unique. The emotional toll of business uncertainty is stretching families to their limits. And with every day that Keir Starmer and his government fail to deliver answers, more people like Sarah are being pushed to the brink. At the centre of this crisis is Keir Starmer, leader of the Labour Party and the person responsible for guiding the UK through these turbulent times. When he took office, Starmer made bold promises to support small businesses, restore economic stability and rebuild trust with the working class. But now, in the midst of a looming budget crisis, many are left wondering, where is that support? Starmer's government has been slow to act, leaving business owners in a state of limbo. While there have been vague reassurances about potential help, there's been no concrete action to alleviate the fears of thousands of small businesses on the edge of collapse. David is the owner of a small manufacturing company in Leeds. He employs 50 people, and for him, the stakes couldn't be higher. Every day without a clear answer from the government feels like a ticking clock, counting down to the possible closure of his company. I have 50 people depending on me. That's 50 families who rely on me to keep this business going, to keep their jobs safe. But how can I do that when the government can't even tell us what's coming in the budget? How can I make plans, pay suppliers, or even reassure my staff when I don't know what kind of support we're getting, or if we're getting any at all? David's frustration is palpable, and it's shared by so many business owners across the country. The decisions Keir Starmer makes in the coming weeks will determine the fate of businesses like David's, and whether or not those businesses will still exist 6 months from now. We don't need promises, we need certainty. We need to know what the government is doing to help us survive. Every day that goes by without answers is another day closer to shutting our doors. If Keir Starmer wants to support working people, this is where it starts. The stakes couldn't be higher for people like David, but without decisive action from Keir Starmer and his government, the fate of these businesses remains in question. So what happens next? The budget announcement is just around the corner, but for thousands of businesses, it may come too late. Keir Starmer has a choice to make. Will he provide the support these businesses need, or will the record number of closures continue to rise? This isn't just about business owners, it's about communities, families, and livelihoods. The decisions made by Starmer's government in the coming weeks will have ripple effects across the entire company. Real, tangible support could save thousands of jobs, but that support needs to come now. Let's return to Alex, the cafe owner we met earlier. He, like so many others, is waiting for action, but he's running out of time. We can't wait much longer. Every week, we lose a little more. Every week, I have to tell my staff that I don't know what's going to happen. We need action, not words. We're running out of time. Business owners like Alex are watching, waiting, and hoping that Keir Starmer's government will finally deliver the clarity and support they need to survive. But the reality is that the next few weeks could make or break the future of small businesses across the UK. The Labour government has the power to make a difference, but time is running out. It's not just numbers on a page, it's real lives, real businesses, and real families at stake. Let us know in the comments, how do you think the budget uncertainty is affecting small businesses in your community? What should Keir Starmer and his government do to prevent further collapse? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others. If you want to stay updated on the latest news impacting small businesses and the economy, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't miss out on the stories that matter.